first event in this timeline would be the Big Bang Theory. Scientists estimate it happened about 13.75 billion years old, and they believe what happened was the universe was created in a massive explosion. We believe the Earth is about 4.6 billion years old. We believe it was created when the solar system was created. Shortly after the creation of the Earth, scientists believe that the Moon was created around 4.6 billion years ago. We believe that Earth was hit by another planet, or like an asteroid, or something along those lines. For thousands of years, ancient civilizations have been using astronomy to create primitive calendars, or count the days, track months, and predict flood patterns. Another major development would be the creation of the heliocentric theory by Copernicus. It was done in the late 1500s, however it was not published until after his death because he didn't want to embarrass the church. In 1608, Galileo invented the first telescope. He called it the refracting telescope. It was a huge development in astronomy because it allowed people to look at planets that were out of range normally. In 1957, the Soviets launched the first satellite ever into space. They called it Sputnik 1. In doing so, they started a space race, which was a competition between the Americans and the Soviet Union to get to the moon first. Also in 1957, the Soviets launched Sputnik 2, which means simple satellite. Sputnik 2 carried a dog, which was the first time an animal went to space. The dog was named Lakia. The next major development in astronomy would be the first man in space. The Soviets were the first to launch a man in space, and they launched Yuri Gagarin. He was a fighter pilot for the Russian army. Also in 1961, the United States launched their first man into space. His name was Alan Shepard. In 1961 through 1972, NASA ran something called the Apollo program. The Apollo program was a U.S. idea to get a man on the moon. It used a Saturn series of rockets to do this task, and the biggest accomplishment was the first moon landing in 1969. The first man on the moon would be Neil Armstrong, and his words were, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." In 1981, the shuttle program started. It was NASA's project to build a reusable spacecraft, and it was the first of its kind. In November 2000, the first crew aboard the International Space Station Exploration has arrived. Since then, the International Space Station has been inhabited by a crew. In 2011, the final shuttle launch after NASA's budget was cut and the shuttle program ended occurred. In 2012, the Mars rover Curiosity landed on the planet Mars. It has begun exploring the surface of the red planet ever since then. Thank you. This is the end of my timeline presentation.